Hello friends, in this session we are going to learn the architecture of 808386. This bit belong to the first unit, that is Introduction to Microprocessor. The objective behind this session is to study the architecture of 80386. After study to differentiate, we have studied the architecture of 8086. So second objective is to differentiate the architecture of 8086 and 386. So the outcome, that means the student will be able to compare the architecture of 8086 and 386. We are aware that this 80386 is a 32-bit processor. So these are the features of 80386. So the 80386 family of microprocessor of Intel Corporation is the first 32-bit version of the 8086 family. That is, a processor has switched from 16-bit to 32-bit processor. This 386 has the compatibility with 8086, 8088, 80286. It is a 32-bit processor, microprocessor. So therefore, it supports data operands of size 8, 16 and 32-bit. It has internal registers of 32-bit. It has arithmetic and logical unit of 32-bit. Data bus is of size 32-bit. Address bus is of 32-bit. The clock frequency of this 80386, it can be either 16, 20, 25 or 33 megahertz. There are two versions commonly used or available in this 80386, DX and SX. So for our syllabus, we are going to study the DX version, right? So this DX version has 32-bit address bus, while this SX version has 24-bit address bus and 32-bit or 16-bit data bus. In DX, address of memory size is of 4 GB, while in SX, the memory size is of 16 MB. This SX version was developed after the DX for application that didn't require the full 32-bit bus version, right? So this 386 supports 16 kilobyte, that is number of segments, and thus the total virtual memory space is 4 GB into 16 kilobyte, which is equal to 64 terabytes, right? So the memory management section of this 386 supports virtual memory, paging and 4 levels of protection. This memory management works at a frequency 20 to 33 megahertz frequency. Now let's see in detail the block diagram or the architecture of 80386. So this architecture is divided into 3 sections. The very first section is CPU, Central Processing Unit. Second section is Memory Management Unit, that is MMU. And the third section is Bus Interface Unit. The Central Processing Unit is again divided into 2 units, Execution Unit and Instruction Unit. This Execution Unit has 8 general purpose register and 8 special purpose register, which are either used for handling data or calculating the offset addresses. Now this is the largest diagram, block diagram or architecture of 386. No need to worry about how to draw this diagram. First, you understand what are the blocks present or what are the sections present in the architecture. If you remember the sections, then you will be able to draw it without any hindrance, this architecture, right? We have seen that 386 has 3 sections. Central processing unit is this one largest block. Next unit is memory management unit, and the next is bus interface unit, right? The CPU is divided further into 2 units, right? So this 2 blocks, instruction prefetch and instruction pre-decode, is your instruction unit, while the control and ALU, the control system and the ALU, is your execution unit. So this combinedly will make your CPU, central processing unit. I repeat the things once again. This large box is CPU, central processing unit. Second unit is memory management unit, in which segmentation unit and paging unit is there. Third unit is bus interface unit, right? Now let's see in detail this instruction unit. Okay, so we have instruction prefetch and instruction pre-decode. We will be fetching the instructions from the memory. We have seen in 8086, BIU was connected with the memory interface. BIU was fetching the instructions from the memory and it was keeping it into instruction queue. So the instruction queue in 8086 is of 6 bytes, while in 386 it is of 16 bytes, right? So this queue is known as a 16-byte code queue in 386. So after fetching, we have to decode that instruction. So here in 386, again there is a queue to store the decoded instructions, and that queue is known as a 3 decoded instruction queue. Okay, so let's see in detail. So the instruction unit decodes the opcode bytes received from the 16-byte instruction code queue and arranges them in a 3 instruction decoded instruction queue, right? After that, after decoding, we put it into the 3 decoded instruction queue. Then next we pass them to the execution unit here, right? So in the execution unit, we have a control system and we have arithmetic and logic unit. So in this arithmetic and logic unit, we have a barrel shifter which will increase the speed of shift and rotate instructions. Then next we have a multiply and divide, so that the complex operations of multiplication and division should be performed faster and with less time. So let's see the description of this. So after decoding them, pass it to the control section for deriving the necessary control signals. The barrel shifter increases the speed of all shift and rotate operations. The multiply or divide logic implements the bit shift rotate algorithms to complete the operation in minimum time. See, here even a 32-bit multiplication can be executed within a microsecond by the multiply or divide logic. Okay. The next is your memory management unit. This memory management unit is divided into 2 sections, segmentation unit and paging unit. Right? So this segmentation unit has a segment. Every segment has its own descriptor, as every student has his own iCard card, identity card, right? So what are the information present on the identity card? The student name, roll number, branch, division, then the blood group, then the address, emergency contact number. So all these things will describe that student, right? So in the same 6 segments in 80386 and 4 segments in 8086. So every segment has a segment descriptor, right? So depending on the descriptor, we'll come to know which segment we are using, right? And the limit and attribute PLA, right? So the limit field will indicate the limit of that segment, and here the attributes are used to identify what type of segment it is, right? And depending on the privilege level, on which privilege level this segment is working, based on that the priority will be decided. Then next, every segment is divided into pages, right? So it has a page cache and it has a control and attribute PLA. So let's see the description of this memory management unit in detail. The memory management unit, that is MMU, consists of segmentation unit and paging unit. Segmentation unit allows the use of two address components. The first is segment base address and the next is offset for relocability and sharing of code and data, right? So whenever we want to relocate the data or we want to share the data, at that time we need a segment base address plus the offset address, okay? So this segmentation unit allows segment of size 4 GB at a max. So every segment present in this 386 is of 4 gigabytes, while the every segment in 8086 is of 64 KB, right? Then the paging unit organizes the physical memory in terms of pages. Pages ka size will be of 4 kilobytes size each. So this paging unit works under the control of segmentation unit, that is, each segment is further divided into pages. The virtual memory is also organized in terms of segment and pages by the memory management unit. So the segmentation unit provides a 4-level protection mechanism for protecting and isolating the system code and data from those of the application programs. Paging unit converts this linear address into physical address. The control and attribute PLA checks the privileges at the page level. So each of the page maintains the paging information of the task. The limit and attribute PLA checks segment limits and attributes at segment level to avoid invalid access to code and data in the memory segments. Then next we have the bus interface unit, this one. So we have a prioritizer in this. We have the address drivers and we have the multiplexers or trans receivers, and a pipelining of control signals has been done here. So let's see in detail. See, for this prioritizer, these are the signals which are given as a input: hold, interrupt request, non-maskable interrupt, error, busy, reset, and hold acknowledge, right? Then for the address driver, we will be using A0 to A31, right? Address bus. The next, multiplexer or trans receivers. Since we are sending a data, then bidirectionally, so all the D0 to D31 will be used here. So let's see in detail. So the bus control unit has a prioritizer to resolve the priority of various bus requests. So this controls the access of the bus. The address driver drives the bus enable and address signal A0 to A31. The pipeline and dynamic bus sizing unit handle the related control signals. The data buffers interface the internal data bus with the system bus. These are the references which I have referred for the contents of this architecture of 80386. I hope you got the concept of architecture of 386 and the comparison between the 8086 and 386 architecture. Thank you.